Hi, my name's Graham Hendra. I'm the Technical Director here at Freedom Heat Pumps, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Midea range of air source units, which we have hidden under this cardboard box. I want to talk about its features and things we like about it. The initial idea with the Midea product was we were going to use this as our budget unit and supply it to people who didn't want to pay the price premium that some of the other brands attract. But what we noticed as soon as we took the lid off is that this is no budget unit. It comes with a 10-year warranty, it's MCS accredited, it's on the SAP-Q database. All of the units in the range are running using R32 refrigerant, which means that we can effortlessly give you water for your hot water and your heating up to 55 degrees C, even in the coldest of weather that we experience here in the UK. So the first thing when you come into contact with a Midea unit is just how well packaged it is. Once you've taken the cardboard box off, you find that there's a lovely protective cover over the coil to stop the fins getting bruised. You notice that the remote controller is attached to the unit, as is the tank sensor. The beauty with the Midea is that all of the optional extras come in the box. So there's nothing to forget when you order it, making you have less mistakes when the unit arrives on site. So there are really two types of heat pumps available on the market today. There are those of them which come with most of the plumbing components inside, which is what this machine has, hence the slightly longer casing. So inside here you have a pump, you have a filter, flow switch, making life very easy for the heating engineer because lots of the plumbing is done for them. The other type of heat pumps that you see on the market, these components are installed in the house by the heating engineer himself. So this is easier to plumb, but it's more difficult to wire because the electrician needs to bring more cables out to the unit. So we're used to systems which don't have this extra section on the end. So this for us was a little bit bigger. But then we realized, if you look at the model number, that this machine here is actually a 16 kilowatt unit. Typically in our industry, a 16 kilowatt unit would be double height, in the sort of tombstone style with two fans. So more tall and thin to this one's short and fat. One of the things that's really clear when you look at this Midea unit is the engineers have clearly looked at other machines available on the market, what the best features are, what should be used when they make this one. And an example of that would be how they've managed to get that 16 kilowatts out of a unit of this size with only a single fan. And really, if you look into it, this kind of represents the next generation of air source heat pumps. So once we get the cover off the unit, you can see the main printed circuit board with all the terminal blocks here that the electrician is going to wire controllers, pumps, etc. to, and the power here. There's a very prominent sticker here reminding us that we need to remove some transit bolts off the unit. So when the unit's built in the factory, they bolt the compressor down to look after it and make sure it's delivered to you in good condition. It's another kind of quality feature we like about the unit and engineers thinking about how to make the unit well. Behind this, if you move it out the way, you can see we have an 8-meter pump which is inverter driven, and every one of the Midea units comes with an expansion vessel inside. So as I mentioned before, there is a transit bracket on the compressor, so you whip off this cover here. It's the only reason you need to take this cover off, and then you lift up the jacket, undo the two screws and remove this. If you don't remove it, it makes the unit very noisy, so it's very easy to detect if it's been forgotten. So as an engineer, my first concern when I looked at this single fan is we've got to get all of the air through this hole, and that potentially could be noisy. And again, the guys at Midea have done a lot of work on this and made this very clever fan blade. So if you look carefully, you can see there's a scallop shape cut out of the blade, and this is done deliberately to keep the sound down. So quite often we get asked, what's the quality and build quality like of the Midea unit? And for me, there's two really big things about build quality. The first is noise. You can't hide noise. It's very easy to spot, and we've already discussed how quiet this machine is. But the other one is, when you take the lids off, are the edges sharp? So on cheap units, you tend to get very sharp edges and cut your fingers. But these are beautifully finished, very, very heavy grade steel. So So yes, the Midea unit comes with all the features you'd expect, weather compensation, 2-zone control, Legionella protection, quiet modes, etc. So everything that all the major brands include in their units come with this as well. But one of the things that we really like about this machine is the remote controller is very, very simple to understand. It's been written again for engineers, so it doesn't use fault codes. It tells you what's wrong. For instance, your flow rate is low, your temperature sensor has failed, so anybody can understand it nice and easily. So the unit comes with an automatic air vent here, and it also comes with an emergency flow switch just in case there's any blockages, and a 3-bar pressure relief valve here which discharges off outside. We've written a nice simple app where you can give this to the homeowner. They very simply connect to the unit. They can turn it on, off, time clock, etc. But more importantly, if something goes wrong with the unit, we have a little function where if they press a button, the data from this machine is instantly sent to us back at Freedom HQ, and we can give the system a very simple health check without leaving our desks. You can see that we're excited by the Midea units. If you'd like to get involved with the product, please contact us at Freedom Heat Pumps today.